Hi, my name is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 1 in our Lavender and Lace journal kit, and it's a collaboration between LineDotArrow and Cara Brandon Creations. Now, I've sorted them into the two halves of the kit, plus Cara has some week 1 freebies, and I'm sure that Nathalie does as well, but they're not coming out until the 5th, which is only 2 days before I'm doing this, so I won't have Nathalie's until that week. But there's going to be freebies on both of their Facebook groups and probably in their Ko-Fi shops as well, so be sure to check over there for that. All the links you're going to need are going to be below the video so that you can visit both shops and get both halves of the kit. And then you can visit their Ko-Fis and their Facebook groups. Okay, and I highly encourage the Facebook groups. They're both great. So this is Nathalie's half of the kit. Let me set these to the side. Oh, you can see, well, the paper clip that I spread apart won't even hold. But this is a large kit. Let's see if I can hold it up. When you put them together, just Nathalie's is 16 pages plus the ephemera, and I don't think Cara, let's see, yeah, and hers is 16 pages as well, plus her ephemera pages, and then of course every week they're going to have freebies that they put out that you can add to the kit and use. So let's go through Nathalie's kit, just because it happened to be on top. Not in any particular order. Even my spread out paper clip won't hold. Okay, so these are the collage pages. Very pretty. You can use this half as a writing page. Another collage page. A writing page. I love this butterfly. Backing pages. And I think I accidentally, yes I did, printed out 2 of this one. Now I haven't printed on the back and I haven't taken the borders off. I did not print them full borderless because that does cut off a little bit of the picture, and I didn't want to do that. And so I printed them all out with the borders on them. So that means I get to trim them all. Yay! And they're going to be a little bit less than 8.5 by 11. So when we make our book, we have to take that into account. All right. So there's 2 of those. And I accidentally printed out 2 of this backing page as well. Not that we won't use them. Okay. And then here's the ephemera. Love these tags. Here's some pockets. And Nathalie puts a little border around all of her ephemera, or it's dark on the edges, for us scan and cut people, and we really appreciate that. Here's a pocket. This you fold in half, so you're going to want to print on the back of that, definitely. Here's another one. Yes, different pocket. Good size for this card to fit in. If you just look at it, you can see it'll slide right down and fit in there. Here's an envelope and another fold in half note card. Some more tags and some decorative ephemera here, and then some cards over here. Some big tags. Sometimes she'll do the big ones and the little ones the same, but in different sizes for you. But these are different. Yes, here's the little version of the ephemera that you would stick on the pages here. And then some tickets here. And then the smaller pockets. This is a misprint that I had, but I saved it because this half is perfectly usable. And you never know when you could use a nice little writing card. So that's Nathalie's half of the kit. I should have put clips on these, but I didn't want to make indentations on the paper. You can put a piece of paper and fold it in half over the top and then put a regular clip on it, which is probably what I will do. But I need to go through and print on the backs anyway and decide what I'm going to put on what. So we'll see about that. Set that to the side. And this is Cara from Cara Brandon Creations on here. Sometimes I'll say Cara Brandon's, like there's an apostrophe S Creations, but it's not. It's Cara Brandon Creations, and it's just my fault, you know, that I say it that way. And I apologize. Okay, so here's her cover sheet. Here's her collage pages. Look at that. It's beautiful. Lovely, lovely bird. I love purple, by the way. Lavender is one of my favorite colors, and purple. And I love it paired with this tan, kind of a yellowish, vintagey paper background on both. Here's what I would call a backing page. This is a backing and or writing page. You could write on this with a black pen. Then it starts with the ephemera. Here's some nice words and things to put on your pages. I love this little mirror. Here's a fold in half, a couple of pockets, and a couple of small cards, and a few more words. Now, if you're using a scan and cut as a tip, just take a large black marker and draw a line through the writing, like so. And then you don't have to trim the papers. Before you run it through the scan and cut, it'll just cut out a black rectangle, and you can just throw that away. The same with up here. Just cover it with the black marker. And that's the same on Nathalie's as well. And I don't blame them for putting it on there. You don't want people to spread, you know, give away the pages. So you have to put your name on them. Here's some more ephemera. Some tags. And some ephemera. Oh, look at this envelope with the lavender coming out. Very pretty. We'll definitely be using some lace. And we may use some pearls if we go shabby chic all the way with it. Here's 4 more pockets. Now, these fold under, you know, and give you that gusseted pocket. A lot of times I take those off and use them as flat pockets. In my projects, things will have a tendency to fall out if I don't, you know, stuff enough stuff in the pocket. So you can do that too. These all need to be printed on the back and trimmed out. And these have borders as well, which is nice. Some tags. That one's especially pretty. Beautiful lilac. And some more tags. And that's the ephemera for that one. Nice, nice big kits. Beautiful kits. See if I can get this back together. I don't know where my clip went. Oh, here it is. And then these are week 1 giveaways for Cara. And I believe these are from her Facebook group. So there's this ephemera, this collage page, which is very pretty, and this ephemera page. So I'm sure Nathalie's going to have some great pages, and I don't know how much each week is going to be from each person. It varies. So you want to make sure to join the groups so you can get those. So that's it for the kit preview section of this movie. That's it for the commercial part. So we're going to go on to starting to make our project. So it's going to be a little while before I start the second part of this video, but it'll be instantaneous for you. And I'm pretty sure we're going to do a book, and I'm not sure how many signatures it's going to be. Possibly 3. And it'll be a hardcover. And let's see, what else can I tell you right now about it? You're going to need some, I'm not sure, I might use cream colored paper. That would be pretty with this, I think, versus white. And you guys know I fold the 65-pound cardstock in half. Then I cut the papers out and put them on the page. And I do that so that my flip outs and things can go underneath the paper and you don't see the flip out, what do you call it? The piece that would have normally been underneath that ends up being on top. And then you have to put washi and stuff on all of it, which is fine. You know, I just, I'm too lazy to go through and put washi on everything. And I like to put flips and flaps and stuff in my books. And so it gets to be kind of ridiculous, a ridiculous amount. So anyway, that's all I have to say for the intro. And I will be back in just a second and we will start our project. Okay? All right. See you then. Okay. So I've got all the papers trimmed and cut. And to make the book itself, all we're going to do is take 2 pieces of cardstock. These are cream colored, and fold them in half, and then a piece of coffee dyed paper. And I just realized that this may be too tall. By about 1/8 of an inch. It shouldn't be. But it is. Okay, let's cut this off. Because we trimmed the edge of the papers. So that's going to make it a little bit tall by just folding them in half. See if I can do all 3 at once without making anything crooked. Okay, let's see about that. Okay, that should be fine. So I cut about 1/8 of an inch off. And so we're just going to take 2 cream colored papers, trim them down by 1/8. Coffee dyed paper, trim it down by 1/8. This will be our signature. I did ink around the edges. Whoops, now I have to ink around the top again. And I'm using brushed corduroy. The reason I'm using that is it's 1 shade lighter than Vintage Photo, and it's got a little more gold tone to it. So I like that better with these papers than Vintage Photo, but Vintage Photo would be fine. I'm not over inking them. You know what I mean by inking a bunch on the sides. I'm just kind of getting the edges. And I'll do the other one off camera. Oh, I might as well do it now or I'll forget. And then I cut the image pages, the papers, in half. And then I do both sides of that? I didn't think I did. And then I left the backing papers whole because you never know what size or what we're going to use them for. So we've got cardstock, coffee dyed cardstock. This is 65-pound cardstock, and it's made by Neenah, N-E-E-N-A-H. You can use any kind of paper that you're comfortable with. If you don't want to use a cardstock and you want to use something thinner, then go for it. I have now they're too tall. I had cut 2 more coffee dyed papers just in case. I'm not sure how many signatures we're going to do. We may do 2 signatures and then put a journal like this in the middle. That would be kind of fun. Okay, cut a little bit off the top of these. That should make these about right. Yeah. So I've also got, let's set this to the side. I've also got the writing papers. And I made one that was, this is the color I found. I did half of the papers on the back this color, and half of them on the back I did them this color. So these are just random paper images that I had, and I printed them on the back. These are all upside down now. So I've got this many papers. So I've got plenty of papers. This is half of the backing paper. I ended up printing 2 because we're going to use one of the backing papers as the page paper on page 1. And the backing papers are the full size. These are the writing papers that I cut in half. One with the butterfly. Very pretty. It's going to make a nice writing card. And this one's printed pink on the back. This one's the pink on both sides. Or lavender and tan. I just got lucky and happened to have that. Don't message me and ask me the kit or anything. I have no idea where they came from. I copied and pasted a bunch of my backing papers into a folder to make them easier to find. And this was a misprint, and I saved it for a writing card. So now to go on to page 1, we've got a backing paper. And a piece of the collage paper. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut 2 3.5-inch pieces, and then we're going to make a top and a bottom like a policy closure, only it's not going to open. And then we're going to make a card that slides in and out, and the card's going to slide in and out from this side, because page 1 in our book opens this way. So you don't want the card to come out on that side. Okay, so this is going to go here. Yeah. And then the policy closure thing is going to go on here. It's going to be a little bit different. And then we'll make a card for it, and I'll make the card off camera. So we've got this, so we want 2 3.5-inch pieces, and I want you to cut them together so that when the flaps are put together, it makes a continuous picture. Okay? And then we'll use the scrap from the bottom to make the tops of the policy closures, which I've already cut the manila folder pieces. There's 4 of them, and I glued 2 together and 2 together. There's 1. There's 2. This is the bottom one. And then this scrap is not big enough. Oh, it is if I do them this way and I'm real careful. I missed that one. This one's okay. Okay. This circle is right above the punch, so you know right where your paper has to be to make the circle. Okay, on this brand. I'm not sure. I know it's not that way on others because a lot of them have the circle on the handle. But this particular brand is EK. EK. You can tell by the yellow, plus it says EK right there. Very good brand. Most people have scoreboards by EK. Now we're going to score these at 1/2 inch. We're going to score 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. Oh, it's too bad about that butterfly. I was hoping they would both end up on the paper. So we're going to score this one on the bottom. If I scored them at just 1/4 inch, then we could keep all those butterflies. It's not very much to glue. About 3/8. It's just going to make them a little bit longer, that's all. Yeah, that's enough to glue. Okay, so this one's going to go this way. We're going to score the top of this one. 3/8. Ooh, that's cutting it close. It's a Fisker's paper trimmer, and you can buy a scoreboard piece or scoring piece for it. Then when I started using my big fancy paper trimmer, I just left the scoring tool on that and turned it into my scoreboard, which works fabulously. Now we're not going to trim, we're not going to round the corners of these. I'm trying to decide. I have on there to put the circles and the brads. These brads that I have that are gold are really bright gold. I liked my other ones better. Why is that a little bit wider than the paper? It's probably the way I cut this in half. I just folded them in half and pinched them and then cut them in half that way because they were funny size. Okay. This one's going to be the same way. We want to cut it off the same side. That way we still have our pictures that line up. Okay. Let's do it this way. We'll measure from the back so we can draw our lines. We want it to be 1 inch over and 1 inch down. So let's mark our inch over. It's just approximate. It doesn't have to be perfect. The line's a little crooked. And 1 inch down. That will give us a 1/2 inch. That will give us a 1/2 inch. And the reason we want a whole 1/2 inch from the circle edge to the end is because we're going to put lace on them. Okay, now make sure, okay, that your hole is going to end up one on this side, and then this one's going to be on this side. So we're going to do 1 inch in. I could have made that straight by lining up the line in the middle. It's a handy dandy feature of your Tim Holtz ruler. And then 1 inch down. And it's going to put the hole for this one right here. That way they're going to end up on opposite sides. We're going to have a hole here and a hole here. Let's go ahead and glue these on. And then while those are drying, I don't put glue in the center. So we're going to punch the hole there anyway, and the brad's going to hold it. Plus, that's enough glue for just that small amount of paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our circles, or our holes in. Use the smaller hole in your crocodile. Or if you're not using a crocodile, it's the 1/8 inch hole punch. Okay. Oops, I forgot to punch a hole in these. And we have to have somewhere for the brad to go through. On these. 2 brads. 2 brads, not a Brad and a Joseph. It's a bad joke, number 1. We can keep track. Now see, these have extra long pieces here that open up. So I'd rather have the ones that are a little bit shorter. Only because it's easier. Now I think we should put the lace on first. And let's see, got some coffee dyed laces here. And I think this one's lighter. This one's more delicate. I think I'll use that one. I've used this one before in quite a few projects, so this would be all right too. Well, we don't want to cover the whole center in between the flaps, so let's use this one. We're going to use different ones throughout. So with this size, it looks like it wouldn't really matter. This one's sheer enough that you'll be able to see that the picture's continuous. Let's see if this one's the right size. And yeah, if I stretch it out. So let's cut another piece this size for the other flap. Now remember, the other one's going to face down as well. You don't want one defying gravity. I don't know. We'll have to look at it. I'm going to cut it just a smidge longer, just to make our lives easier. You can always trim it a little bit. So we'll glue that on. I think I'm going to wait because I want to see what I want the bottom one to look like. So I think I'll wait on that. So let's put these on. And they're not as flat on the top. They're more rounded, so they're thicker, I guess is what you would say. So they're perfect. They work perfect. They're just a little bit bigger. Okay. And now we're going to put this string on this, but the string isn't going to be meant to be opened, so we're not going to have to cover these, this part of the brad. You see how long it is? So we don't have to worry about that, because of the way we're going to tie it shut, it's just going to make like a giant pocket. See, if we put this like this, this like this, is that going to look silly? Because technically, no, that'll be right. That would be right. Use my proper English. That would be correct. I'll glue this on. Because this is called Lavender and Lace. So we're going to put some lace in here. Don't think we're going to have to stretch this one as much as the other, but I want it to be straight. And I want the edge to be very close to the bottom of the paper. Okay, so that's pretty. Right, so now we're going to glue. We're almost done. We're going to glue these on. I don't have page 2 ready. I didn't think we would have 20 minutes left. We're not by the time we glue this on and tie it and everything. I got a message on my phone. Okay. Anyway, this is Sunday and I'm recording on Sunday. I usually like to record 3 weeks ahead of time. And I'm only about 10 days out on this one. It's going to be a bit bigger project. Let's see, that one's our bottom one. I want to make it straight. Okay, and do the same with this one. The next page I was actually going to do off camera. this lighter one, or do I want this one? I think I want the lighter one. What do you guys think? Is that too light? I can waste some time doing this, huh? I think I'm going to go with this one. Not sure I've even used this one before. And we're going to just tie them shut. We're not going to make it to where you can open it, because it's going to be a pocket, not a policy closure to where you can open it and close it and put stuff in and out. I did put this on a little tight. Make that a little longer. You can watch my stupid fingers try to do this for 10 minutes. Okay, do one more. Now we want it to be snug once it's glued to the paper. Okay, so we might want it to actually pull the paper up just a little bit. Let's bring it around here. Then we're going to do diagonal this way to make it the longest way. Not that much. And then we're going to go ahead and tie it in a knot this way, so you can't unwind it. I could have done two and made a crisscross. That would have been neat. I don't know what kind of knot that was, but I don't think it was right. Could do what my friend calls a surgeon's knot. Now see, when we glue it down, it'll be straight. You probably should have done a crisscross, but... Or I should have, and I was going to, darn it. I was going to use some lilac embroidery thread. Darn it. So that you could see it better. Okay. And I forgot to ink these. And I forgot to ink the circles. Since they're out opening, we don't have to ink the underside. It would have been nice to have that inked underneath. There's pretty much no way to get the circles without getting the ink on the paper. So that's going to be that. Okay, and then we will get our book. all we need is this page right here. Let's do this too. Yeah, we're going to be all right for time. 1, 2, do not number these. You don't know what part of the paper is going to show. 3, 4, and 5 are going to be your center spread. 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So we're going to be doing page 1. That way you can take it apart. You don't get confused as to what's going where. And then I'll make the card off camera. All I gotta do is trim that a little bit and then round the corners. Wonder if I want to use that. That might be a bit too much. Anyway. I'm going to try to do these in order. If you want to do it ahead of time, page 2 is going to be an acetate belly band down the center with a bigger piece of lace on it that covers the whole piece of acetate. And the belly band doesn't have to be in the center. Sorry about that, it's time to take my medicine. I turned off my other timer. I forgot to turn that one off. I didn't realize what time it was. I have to take medicine 4 times a day, so I use timers on my phone. Much easier. Plus, I feed the big OZ 4 times a day, a little bit. That way he thinks he's getting something too. Yeah, they're actually a smidge wide as well. But, I'm going to leave it at that. Once there's more weight on this with more pages done, it will hold it flatter. If you want to go back and add 2 more, you can. That's going to make your string a little loose. Possibly. And I wish there was a way for me to undo that knot in there and redo it. Oh, I didn't cover the brads. I didn't cover the brads, so I can take the brads out and redo it. Where's the rest? Oh, here it is. So I've got all this embroidery floss, and I see the one right away. I think I'm going to use this one right there. I like that color. With this. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to cut the string. I'm going to open it up, take the brads out. That will, I can get rid of the string that way. Put the brads back in and then retie it with this. That will make it much prettier. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do off camera, and I'm going to make the writing card. And then we'll do 2 and 3, maybe 2, 3, and 4 in the next video. Okay? So, yeah, this is just not thick enough to make it look the way I wanted it to look in my head. You know, in my head. And like I said, that's it for this video. And I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.